When I strike, it is precise, and it is for a reason. You do not interfere. You do not get in the way. You will never, ever choose one of them over me again. I will not have it. Is that clear? Ladies and gentlemen, baby made a mess. This is the Scandalous Scandal recap for season 4, episode 7, or 8 of Scandal. Welcome to the Scandal recap. I'm Larry Brown Jr., joined by Janiyah Wright. Janiyah, how are you?
LBJ, or should I say Rowan Pope? I mean, way to open way to open the show, LBJ. You just took us back to one of the many, many exciting moments from tonight's episode. I am chomping at the bit to get ready and get into this recap, LBJ.
Oh my goodness gracious. It is something to see. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching us tonight. We appreciate you and your efforts, and we appreciate you for all your energy and all your parts and your hearts that are here. If you told a friend, thank you so much. Make sure you tell them to watch the Scandal recap right now, because we're live right here on YouTube. We're live on Google Plus, and we're live on Facebook. And you can also tweet using the hashtag Scandal Recap. Make sure throughout the conversation, if there's something that you like, click the thumbs up button at the bottom of the screen. Something you don't like, click the thumbs down button. We take polls throughout the conversation to engage you, to make sure that you are on point, just like we are with the conversation that we have. Janiyah, I don't even know where to start. You know what? I do. Let's go ahead and jump in, and let's deal directly first with, oh goodness, where should we start? You kick it off.
LBJ, you know what? I think Dr. Hill 2014 has already kicked it off in our Q&A. She said tonight's show was epic. And she is right. Tonight's show was epic. LBJ, I think we need to start right in with the sisterhood. Olivia and Gabby Abby tonight. My goodness.
Gabby Abby Red. Gabby Abby Red.
Olivia and Gabby Abby Red tonight. I mean, LBJ, we have been talking about it the last few episodes. The ups and downs of this relationship. I mean, it is exciting to watch. And I think tonight they reached another pivotal moment. So, LBJ, let's dig in on this relationship a little bit here. We all know that part of Abby's allegiance to Olivia was that Olivia saved her from her ex-husband, who was abusive. And not just a tablespoon of abusive, almost took her out of here abusive, LBJ. And we turn around tonight to see that ex-husband march himself right on into the White House and almost become a regular fixture of Abby's life. LBJ, yes. Could you believe the way she was impacted by just seeing her ex-husband?
Oh, it was something to see. But what I will say, it was amazing to see how she tried her best to be resilient. And in her resilience, she stood the test. She survived and passed the test. But she completely collapsed and crumbled when it was all said and done, because of the damage, the physical and emotional and the figurative damage that was done to her in their relationship. Hats off to Gabby Abby Red tonight. She really took one for the team, but she also found some strength and some courage. I mean, who needs Annie Get Your Gun when you've got Abby Get Your Gun? We had Abby Get Your Gun tonight. I mean, she came out and she had that gun, and she put the gun up and pointed it at the ex-husband. I was like, Abby Red, you're on another one tonight.
Yeah, LBJ, I love it. I love it when you do dramatic reenactments. I mean, you really take us into those moments. You right now with that remote pretending it was a gun. I thought I was watching the scene all over again. Oh, you're very good. Oh, my goodness. LBJ, listen, you know what? She said, when she was pointing that gun at that man, she said, you know what? If I kill you, it'll be justified as post-traumatic stress disorder. And let me tell you, LBJ, that would have stood up in the court of law. She could have took that man out of there. That was the second time in the episode where she had showed amazing restraint. She could have called out their history when she first saw him in the Oval Office. She could have given Olivia the green light to put his business out on the street. And there she was once again. It was the third time she showed restraint, LBJ. She did not take him out of here. And so anyway, was so excited to watch Gabby Abby tonight. and
It
to
was
watch
so good.
Olivia then come to her rescue.
Oh my gosh, she came to her rescue with the dresses and she was like, "Hey, my sister, my love, my colleague, my cohort, my friend, I want to help you. Not only did I come in here to help you and to save you, but I came in here low key. I came in here off the radar. Nobody knows that I'm here. I
Hmm.
came into this office to help you out." But how about the way that but how about the big help that she gave her? Remember, Cyrus said, or Livy's mom, Maya told her, she said, "Olivia, baby, you the help." And what did she do? She stood in as the help for Gabby Abby Red tonight, and she was like, "What do you want to happen? What do you
Yes.
want to happen?" She asked her the question, and it goes back to like you have now because you ask now. She says, and I don't know, I don't want. She's like, "What do you want to happen?" She told her, "Look, you let me know what you want to happen, I will make it happen for you." And she went
Hmm.
in there, and next thing you know, we met Susan Ross, a random woman in Virginia running the eighth grade school president campaign. Oh my gosh, it was
Let me
completely
tell you, she was so random schmandom, which is
yes
a phrase that Larry and I have been using for years
for
to
years.
describe things that are so far out of left field. There's no other way to describe them. Susan Ross, you are random schmandom. But I will just say, Olivia said, you know what? Olivia walked right up to random schmandom Ross and said, you know what? Do you want to be the next senator? I can make that happen. Just say yes.
Yes, yes.
Random Schmandom Ross, Frozen. Yes. She was in the trance. Did you see
Yes.
that? She was in the Olivia trance.
She was taken by Olivia. I'm telling you, if you come into the presence of Olivia Pope, especially in all of her white coat glory, you have had it. It's like, oh, you want to float into the heavens and see, see the other side with Olivia Pope. It was amazing how she interacted with Susan Ross, and then hats off to the strategy out of the mouth of babes. Some
Absolutely.
wonderful words and some wonderful storytelling. The way that Olivia said, "You know what? Screw this. You're not doing it. You keep doing it. You try to make up. We've given you
You're
this makeover.
horrible.
We've given you
Yeah.
injections. We've done all of this to help you out, ma'am, and you're still screwing up. So here's how we're going to help you. We're going to get your talented daughter to go in here and to record this commercial for you, and she's going to tell the story that we were trying to get you to tell, and she's going to sell it." And what happened? She spoke to the heart and minds of everyone on social media and online and began to sell the story and began to get the votes in advance of the election. I mean, the girl's video went viral.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did, LBJ.
It was clearly a page out of like the kid president storytelling right there. It was a wonderful moment.
It was a wonderful moment, LBJ, and I love the way that whole story wrapped up. There we were on the brink of, we're wondering, are we going to be the ones, we the gladiators, are we going to be the ones that tell the story of Gabby Abby's abuse? Are we going to be the ones that put it out there? And we didn't even have to do it. Gabby Abby just said it to PR. I don't even remember the name of the other PR guy.
Right.
We'll just call him Mr. Evil because, frankly, I don't forgive him for
Right. All right. Right.
pursuits on behalf of the former vice president. So I don't want him to think he has a clean slate just because he's now coming in with all his romantic tactics, Mr. Evil PR man. No, you're not forgiven. You need to work a little harder. But LBJ, all she did was confess to a friend. She bared her soul to a friend. She was transparent for a moment. And then everything turned around. The PR evil man, was the one who spilled the beans on the senator, on Abby's ex-husband. And he was just taken right out the picture, LBJ, just like that.
Yes, totally taken out of the picture just
Mm-hmm.
like that. We don't want to be taken out of the picture just like that. I hear that there are issues going on with the Q&A on Google Plus. So what you need to do, folks, if you can, refresh the event page if you're watching us on the event page, or refresh the window that you're in. We'll hold for a few seconds. We'll keep talking here, refresh and catch back up, and then click the Q&A button to join us in the conversation. It looks like Dr. Hill 2014 is able to take part in the Q&A. She is actually dominating it right now. She comes in out the gate again, Janaya. By the way, Dr. Hill 2014 put a comment on the event page and said, "I've been drinking." So Dr. Hill 2014. I don't know what you're gonna say in this
Yeah,
conversation, but
yeah.
let's stay tuned and see. It looks like Rena75 is joining us as well. Excellent.
Okay,
Gabby
good.
Abbey
People are
Red
getting in.
Yeah, Gabby Abbey
Yeah.
Red was on point tonight. Says Dr. Hill 2014. I mean, Gabby Abby Red was on point, and hats off to her also for standing her ground, no pun intended, with the president in last week's episode. But her
Mm-hmm.
name is Abby, not Gabby. And tonight,
Yes,
who did the president call her? Abby.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. And LBJ, let me tell you, Abby's actions from last episode continue to resonate tonight. You'll recall she is the one that said to Cyrus, "Uh-oh, honey, you're pointing the finger hither and thither, but guess what? You need to check your own back door because there's a leak and it's coming directly out of your bucket." Okay? And Cyrus, this week, he's on the prowl, LBJ. He said, "You know what? Is my prostitute slash boyfriend slash kept man on the side the leak? Is he here for evil purposes?" And he planted information, LBJ, to expose that prostitute. LBJ, what did you think of that whole storyline of Cyrus starting to figure out that he was indeed being manipulated?
Oh, it was a classic strategy that I actually learned while we were students at Howard. And it was like, if you want to put something on the streets, you give the information to the person you think might carry it to the streets and to carry it to the masses. All you need is one good person to have the loose lips to sink the ships. And Cyrus he used that strategy. I was like, finally, Cyrus, you see it. You've had your few moments, you've had your releases with B School Brian. His name is Brian, right? Isn't it Brian or
I
Brandon?
think it is. I think it's Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I call him B School Brian. You've had your releases with B School Brian, and now B School
Yeah.
Brian is when you realize that now that you've had this moment that hey, you know what? He's the one that's been leaking this information, and it did not come out like he thought it was going to come in the news clips and in the media monitoring that they had going on. It actually came out from the mouth of the first lady, who was briefed by Republican degenerates on the show.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And LBJ, I tell you, she continues to play the role as the snake in the grass. I
Yes,
will tell you, Liz is just slithering about hither and thither, through and hither. I mean, I tell you, she just peeks her head in, undermines something, and then goes right back into the shadows.
yes, she
I mean,
does.
she truly is portraying, I think, what really happens on Cap.
She's absolutely doing that on Capitol Hill. I'm not sure if you guys lost Janaya. I actually lost Janaya on the back end. So Janaya, if you can hear me, go ahead and refresh and come back in. The block must be hot tonight. Everybody's trying to talk about this juicy, juicy, juicy episode of Scandal. If you all can hear Janaya, let me know. I can't hear or see Janaya. If you can, let me know. In the meantime, let's go to Kathy Grantham. Kathy Grantham is she loves the to the extent of the Cyrus conversation. She said, "Oh yes, check your own back door" was a classic line. It was a completely classic line tonight, in more ways than one. Every pun, Kathy Grantham, every pun was intended. When Gabby Abby Red told Cyrus that, and it stuck with him. It meant something to him, and it meant something so much so to the point that when B School Brian said to Cyrus, I know all of your weaknesses now, Cyrus, and he brought him the black coffee with extra sugar that'll put him in a diabetic coma. He's like, I know your weaknesses. And Cyrus is like, yeah, you know some weaknesses. You know my weaknesses that'll make me release, but what weaknesses you don't know is my weakness to kill, my weakness to hire a hitman and have you murdered. And that's exactly what Cyrus is going to do, I believe, to B School Brian. Brian will never see the likes of any graduation from B School. I think Janaya is actually sending me notes now. She is not, but she is back here, Janaya. If you unmute yourself, you can be right back in the conversation. Welcome back. I see you on the bottom of the screen. Unmute yourself. You're laughing. Wait, Janaya the Granny has to unmute herself.
I did. Did it unmute?
Yes, you're unmuted now.
Okay. LBJ, my internet literally just went off and then came back on. So I apologize.
That's perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. I just wrapped up the conversation with B School Brian. As I really said that, Cyrus, B School Brian told him, I know your weaknesses. I'm like, no, you don't know his weaknesses. He will kill you. That's one weakness that he has. He
Yes.
to hire a hitman and have you offed.
Oh,
And
yes.
Cyrus will do with that.
Yeah, we'll see if you make it to B school, Brian. I don't think you're going to pass that. Was it the GMAT? You may have passed the GMAT, but you ain't going to pass the Cyrus Mat. Sorry, honey, you're
Wait,
not.
the DMAT? Did you guys catch that? Tonight said you might pass the DMAT. Classic, classic, classic.
But you're not going to pass the Cyrus Mat, honey. Not at all. So, good luck, B school, Brian. How do you think Cyrus is going to resolve this, LBJ?
I think Cyrus is going to resolve it by having B. School Bryant off. He's going to die. He's either going to
Mm-hmm.
die or he's going to have a slow and painful torture that Cyrus is going to engage. And it's going to be really, really bad for him when it's all said and done. But you know who it's not all said and done for? Huck. Huck has light at the end of the tunnel for the relationship that he desires to have with his son. I know that your heart soared and your heart sang like if you were as if you're watching a Lifetime movie tonight when it came to Huck's relationship and really meeting his son.
LBJ, let me just say, I did one of those things where you lay your head to the side like this, and then you just have a moment with yourself, and like music starts playing. I was in love with that scene, LBJ, where Huck was watching his son, in the arcade. I love it, LBJ. I love Huck's pursuit of this relationship with his son and this relationship with his family. But I will say this, LBJ, all about his son making dates with people that he's met in chat rooms. Can someone
Yeah.
please coach this boy on, like, the amount of pedophiles that are running out there in the universe? Clearly, Mom, you're not doing a super great job of policing what your son is doing online. Now, sure, he seems to be a little tech savvy. He did some sort of reverse, search, tracked his father down using the IP address, walked himself right into Pope and Associates and said, "Hello, I know you're my father. Why did you leave?" So I mean, he is clearly a little above average. But like I said, you need to not make dates with strangers online.
That's you know what I never even thought about the whole internet safety issue that it presented with Huck's son coming to Copeland Associates. I even thought about that. I think I was so stuck on the fact that they were more alike than they were unalike. And I love the fact that, there is that relation that, genetically I helped bring you into this place and a part of me makes you up. And this good part of me is what brought you to me. I think that that was one of the wonderful things one of the most wonderful messages that I got out of that connection. I never even thought about the internet safety. That's a wonderful takeaway from that moment. Watch your kids on the internet, folks. You never know who they are playing with and messing with on these things. You're so right. That was good, Janai. That was very good.
Thank you.
FYI, Janai, Ebony Johnson Cooper shouts you out on the event page, and everyone's like, "Yeah, they don't see Janai. They don't see Janai. They can't." And Ebony Johnson Cooper said, "Janai is someone that Internet Explorer. Did you know that?"
Oh man, my business is on the street officially. I am the worst. It is true, but I am on Google Chrome tonight.
Very good. We're so
Thank
happy
you.
you are
Thank
on
you.
this phone. Dr. Hill 2014 agreed to
Yes,
that with Cyrus going back. Cyrus will have you killed. Absolutely. Cyrus
yes, he will.
will have you killed. Zoe Emil says, "Oh wait, I thought that Cyrus's dude's name was Michael. His name very well could be Michael. I don't know. I thought it was Brian or something like that. What did you think?"
You know what? It might be Michael. I think we should just call him B School Brian just because it's funny. And I like to mock characters and just give them names that I feel, are appropriate. So I
Absolutely.
think, I
Furthermore,
think
yeah.
we should call him B School Brian.
Yeah, and I love alliteration anyway, so let's
Yeah,
call
it's super fun. Yeah. We love it. We're really good at it. Let's keep it going.
Okay. Dan Blakemore says, "I hear Jania's point, but I also think going to Huck and his son, I hear Jania's point, but I also think that he knew it was his father." Good
Oh
point, Dan.
my gosh, Dan Blakemore, we miss you, Dan Blakemore. Oh my gosh, your name just brings joy to my heart. It's so good to see you in the Q&A, Dan.
And here's the
And
thing, wait, Dan does, I have to say this, Dan is on, he's onto something, Jania,
yeah,
because
he is.
the
He is.
son said, I just want to know why you left. And
Mhm.
you're right, Dan, he knew it was his father.
Yeah, and you know what? The reality is the mom has been watching Huck sit outside of her house for weeks. maybe months, actually. You think the son didn't peek out the window? He's obviously very inquisitive. So you know what? I think Dan could be right. The son is pretty much hip to the game and probably knows that something has been going on. He probably knows Huck has been trying to get in touch with him.
You're right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Rounding out the Huck conversation, we've got Kathy Grantham is like, watch it, LBJ. She's about to lay the smackdown. Watch it, LBJ. You know, Janiyah and I have a soft spot for Huck. Smiley face.
Yes, yes. Don't nobody say nothing bad about my Huck, okay? I love him. And LBJ, you know who else I fell in love with tonight, LBJ, was Mellie. Now, I have to say, well, well, first of all, I just want to give her a little shout out for really just reminding all of us about her super fun nicknames that Fitz gave her a few episodes ago.
Oh,
Smelly Mellie.
yes.
She made up a new one. What did she call it? Crispy fried Mellie? Fried
No,
chicken.
no, it was chicken fried Mellie. Chicken fried Mellie. It was so good.
Chicken fried Mellie. LBJ, it was so good. It was so good. But I will just say, watching Mellie return to herself, now again, the regular Mellie that isn't chicken fried is she's bitter, she's hateful, you know, she doesn't like Olivia very much, and no, she doesn't get along with Fitz. And so as Mellie is coming back into her own, all of her relationships are once again severed, falling off. And I will say, LBJ, though, it was too bad to watch her get manipulated by Liz because her foray back to herself now was with misinformation.
Yeah.
And it puts her at odds with Fitz. When what she's really trying to do is to make her presence known as a part of the presidency, not to undermine the presidency. And so, I mean, it's too bad that she was being manipulated by Liz.
Totally, it's definitely too bad. Rena75 in the Q&A says, once again, Mellie showed that when she tries to take charge, she messes up. She went and gave out incorrect information that Lizzie gave her on the low, Lizzie slash Republican DeGeneres. And why, oh, why does she always try to undermine the president? Well, we know now, Rena75, she's undermining the president because she's got to get her mojo back. She's like, I'm back. That's what she came. She's like, I'm back. This is what you wanted. You called me smelly Mellie. You called me drunk Mellie. You called me this Mellie. You even called me chicken fried Mellie. You know, whatever Mellie wanted me to be. And now I'm back. And no, Mellie, take your hands off of it. Just stand there and find some hobby like Bitsy told you, or busy Bitsy told you last week. And just go, go help some obese child lose weight. Just find something.
Pick some China, Mellie. Pick some China.
Yeah, pick China, exactly.
You know what, LBJ? I have to say, that character, Bitsy, she was only with us for one episode and maybe only had 3 or 4 scenes in that episode. Yeah. But I think her character is going to resonate with us for a while.
Oh,
I mean, today, when Mellie was standing on the balcony just looking out onto Washington, D.C. and thinking, oh boy, I'm about to take this place over, all I could think was, my goodness, Bitsy is whispering in her ear right now.
Yes.
Make the mistake that I made of fading into the background. Make yourself known. And I just watched Mellie there. I saw it in her eyes, LBJ. She was plotting. She said, oh, will do, Bitsy. I'm going to make myself known. Yeah. LBJ, there's a lot coming from Mellie, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, there's a lot coming from Mellie, Janiyah, but there is also a lot coming from Tom in this season of Scandal. Can we please talk about the fact that Tom had the monologue that I'm entitling "You Are So Beautiful"? Monologue. That's the title I've given Tom's monologue for this episode of Scandal for Baby Made a Mess. Tom came out the gate and he was smitten. He was smitten by Olivia Pope. I mean, it was like he said, it's like they said, you know what, Tom, we have a present coming for you, and the present's going to be nectar wrapped in a box. So, nectar, Tom. We're going to present the nectar to you. Only unwrap this box when you are ready. In the meantime, look at the beauty of this box and see exactly what you like about this box, and just admire it and tell this box everything you've wanted to ever tell it your entire time of knowing that this box exists. And that's just what Tom did in the "You Are Beautiful" monologue that he had. Nectar factor was like no other. this episode for Scandal. You all know that I could not let this moment pass without talking about the nectar factor and
It's
Scandal.
real.
He looked at Olivia Pope like, oh wow, like now I see it. Now I get why this man wanted to kill himself. I get why, people are all over you. I get why you have this love triangle going on. You are hotness. You are so perfect. And you are Helen of Troy. You launched 1,000 ships. What a beautiful summation of who Olivia Pope is in this show tonight. Oh, I can't get enough of the nectar factor.
And yeah, I just remember the last time a man told me that I launched 1,000 ships. Oh wait, no one has ever said that. Okay, I was stunned, LBJ, at how stunned Tom was by her beauty. I was also, LBJ, stunned by this actor, whoever this guy is that's portraying Tom. If somebody knows in the Q&A, please tell us this man's name, because we need to give him some props. He has been a goon, LBJ. Yeah. He's just been a person that, for many of these episodes, could have just been an extra, right? Mm-hmm. But little did we know, Shonda Rhimes had carefully picked this actor, because she said, when the time comes, I need someone who is going to make a scene stick, who's going to make a scene resonate. And let me tell you, she did a fantastic job. I felt every word that man said. It stayed in my heart and in my soul. And again, it did make me fantasize for just a second that he was talking to me. I mean, we know he wasn't.
Janiyah wants to be Helen of Troy. I think Nina 75 wants to be Helen of Troy. Nina 75 says Tom was all caps everything.
Yes.
I'm so glad he's getting to speak this season. I really like the actor, and Tom, the character, read Olivia and looked into her soul.
Yes.
That lived shook for a hot minute until she shanked his behind. What about that? Come on.
Oh my God.
Olivia told her dad last week, she said, I've got weapons you don't even want. And again, the first weapon I thought about Olivia having was nectar wrapped in a bow. Nectar wrapped in a bow.
Yeah.
And tonight she showed us, no, she's got a lot of cash, and she's got to connect with the dude at the front door who can go and shank you but not kill you and get what she needs. She's got weapons.
She really does, LBJ. And you know what? It was so crazy, because when she was telling Fitz how she got information out of Tom, you know what she did, LBJ? She referenced her father. She said, absolutely, I did what my father would have done, and I managed him. Right? Mm-hmm. She totally manipulated the whole situation for the greater good, though, to get the truth. But LBJ, she manipulated the whole situation. And so she was able to break Tom with the shanking. We got the truth out of Tom. She even got him to tell the truth on tape, LBJ.
On tape,
LBJ. And then she took that tape and she marched it where? Directly into the Oval Office and showed it to Fitz. LBJ, I just sat there imagining Fitz in that moment. Let's go there for a second. Fitz, at first you're thinking Olivia's mom has killed your son. Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking that Jake, someone who used to be your best friend, but then you slept with your woman who wasn't even really your woman. You're all in an emotional conundrum. Because you did it. You know, you've now made allegiance with someone who was your enemy, Eli Pope. All to bring the justice, the man you thought killed your son and ruined your relationship with Olivia, only to find out that you were once again being manipulated, and the killer of your son is still out there walking about and was in fact in your office just a few days earlier sipping on some scotch. LBJ, I can only imagine the emotions that were running through Fitz in that moment.
Janiyah, let me tell you, the emotions that were running through Fitz in that moment were pretty visible to me. He had rage, he had confusion, he had anger, he had bewilderment, he had loads of emotions that just peeled back like a Vidalia onion, and it was just juicy and it was sweet. It had the spice of an onion. Like Fitz became a Vidalia onion tonight. And that was in that moment, but Fitz also had some other moments where he felt some emotions and he felt some feelings. And Kathy Grantham speaks directly to it. Kathy says, I'm still recovering from Fitz's description of what he was going to do to Olivia at the beginning of the show. let me say this. Like, I think that it was like I was sitting there and he was talking to her. Mind you, this was their second conversation. I'm talking about the second conversation. They had two conversations tonight.
Yes, they did.
The first conversation at the top of the show is when Mellie was listening over his shoulder, and she walked in at the time where he says, he said Olivia's name. Mellie said, okay, here comes this lady again. Then we fast forward to Olivia in her apartment, and he's like, why don't you just come over now? I mean, prove to me that you want it. Prove to me that there's hope. Show me that
there is hope.
He played on that hope. I actually called that moment. I called that monologue, instead of calling it the phone sex monologue, which is the obvious thing.
Yeah.
I called that the audacity of hope. That's what that was. The audacity of hope.
Yeah, very audacious.
It was very audacious of him to say that. I mean, he had Olivia sitting down on the bed. She was like, he was touching under her coat. And he's like, I will start at the bottom, come up there, and let you.
Oh my gosh!
They give you a tasting of what was going on, and I was like, Fitz, you're on something else, man. And I don't condone Olivia and Fitz's relationship. You all know I'll do that, but the way that was well played tonight, Fitz. Well played, sir. Well played.
LBJ, it was very well played because do you know what he did? He left her hanging, LBJ.
He did.
She had given in to the moment. Did you see? She was asking a follow-up question. She said, well, then what's next? And he said, oh, well, you'll have to come see or something. And he hung up on her.
He hung up.
He left her dangling there. All Olivia could do was lay back on the bed inside. So once again, manipulation. He's once again saying, listen, you can run to the ends of the earth if you want. You can run into Jake's bed. Do everything you want to do, Olivia, but at the end of the day, I've still got you on a hook. So he was also just once again staking his claim, laying out his territory, reminding her who's really running the show.
Yes, he did. He reminded her who running the show.
He reminded all of us. He reminded all of us who's running the show. Yeah. I think we remember now. Okay, we forgot. We got him, Fitz.
Yeah. I don't think Olivia laid back and just thought about it. I think she laid back in line and had some other moment going on in her bedroom there. Rena 75 in the Q&A is back, and she's talking all about the Fitz thing. She says Fitz is proving to be the man Olivia voted for. That's good, Rena 75. He's proving that he can do the right thing. He could have had Jake killed a long time ago, but he didn't because of his desire to be the man Olivia voted for. Next up is a presidential divorce. Oh, that plot thickens on that one, Rena 75. A lot.
Yes.
A lot.
And you know what, LBJ, along those lines, we have to talk a little bit more about Olivia and where she is right now with Fitz, LBJ. I mean, LBJ, do you really think there is hope?
I think that there's hope for the sake of everybody who loves Olivia and Fitz together. I think that there's hope for the sake of that. Do I think that Olivia and Fitz are going to have this long-term relationship is going to turn into forever? A couple of forevers with them? Absolutely not. I think that they're going to have a few more moments where they jump off, and I think that they're going to jump back on and jump back off again, and it's going to be over. Like at the end of the day, he's going to either be with Mellie or Mellie will kill him, and that's going to be the end of it. Mellie's not. Mellie's going to take him out. She's going to.
She's going to be snapped Mellie. Because she's going to go, you know what, there is a breaking point,
Exactly.
You just take him out of here. And LBJ, I think that is speaking of people who might just take you out, that is the perfect segue to the relationship that is literally the through line to all of this.
Yes.
And that is Olivia and her father, your idol, Eli Pope. LBJ, Olivia walks into her house, and who is sitting his tail directly on her couch, staring at her, but her father, LBJ.
Yeah.
And you know what was the craziest thing about it? She didn't even pause for too much shock and awe at his presence. She just said, oh, once again you're having me followed. What a surprise. You're so predictable. You think you're the whole master of the whole world. Look at you again doing a power play. And LBJ, she literally turned on her heel and was going to bed. She said, let yourself out. and she was giving him no play whatsoever.
Done.
And the worst thing you can do to a person that is power crazy, LBJ, is turn your back and show disregard. Cue your monologue of the night, LBJ.
Cue my monologue. When I strike, it is precise, and it is for a reason. You do not interfere. You do not. You will never ever choose one of them over me again. I will not have it. Is that clear? And then he goes on to say, "Oh gosh, what is the line? What is the line? What is the line? What is the line?" Wait. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. The line is wait for it, because he touched her hair, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Don't touch her hair. Don't touch her hair. Don't." Oh, what is the line? He says, "Against me, you will lose." That was the line. That was the
LBJ, that was fantastic. And LBJ, we have to just talk about that moment when he touched her, because this to me was so important. And these are the subtleties of the wonderful direction of this show. When he reached for her, her instinct was to pull back.
Yes.
Let me just say, LBJ, when my father, may he rest in peace, before he passed away, when he reached for me, there was never a reason for me to shirk away.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship is this, LBJ, that when your father, flesh of your flesh, bone of your bone, is that what it is? What is it? Okay, something along those lines.
It's bone of your bone,
yes.
Bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh.
Yes, that line right there reaches for you, and you literally shirk back. And then, LBJ, was he deterred by the shirk back? He wasn't. He literally went in even closer to once again accomplish his goal, which was to touch her, make sure that her face was focused completely on him so that she would have his undivided attention, to give that powerful line, "Olivia, against me, you will lose."
You will lose.
That is power crazy, LBJ. And what he did in that scene was make true what Tom had said in the scene where he showed that he was also clearly obsessed with Olivia, just like every other man in this show. Tom said to her, "Oh, you think you have a father? You don't have a father. You have a command, and you've been taking orders from him your entire life."
Yeah, it was. He called it like it was. He called the thing with Olivia. He called it totally in the "You Are Beautiful" monologue. Helen of Troy, who launched 1,000 ships. You don't have a father. You have command, and command is. He's not your dad. Like you are.
Nope.
You are merely a pawn on his board, on his chessboard of this life that he's created. Tom totally called him out. And the thing about Rowan Pope is that Rowan Pope is like, so Candace, my wife, says that she thinks that once Rowan Pope dies, that's the end of Scandal. She thinks that when Rowan is taken out, when that Olympus falls, that is going to be the end of the show. And I'm starting to think that she's onto something, because Rowan is becoming such the breakout, like he's becoming the principal guy of the show. Like, Fitz falls under Olivia, all puns intended. But then there's also Rowan, who is really keeping this stuff going. Like, he's got all kinds of people in these streets. And now Olivia has just waged a war. Like, Helen, at the end of this episode, Helen launched the 1,000 ships that are going to go to war. Literally, she launched those ships, Shania. She launched the ships with her father. She launched the ships when she brought that recording of Tom from what was it called? Supermax, from Supermax on security, the Supermax security person Fitz, for him to hear the audio of the Q&A that she had with him. She launched the ship of Fitz attacking Rowan. She launched the ship of Tom attacking Rowan because she made Tom think that Rowan came in and then she also launched the ship of Jake being back out now and being in the triad in the room with Fitz and Olivia. What in the world?
LBJ, you literally just shocked my mind to Channel 9. If my mother is watching, that's her little phrase. Whenever something astounds my mom, she says, "Well, my mind just got shocked to Channel 9." Or when she thinks she's shocking you, she tells you, "Your mind just got shocked to Channel 9." LBJ, you just shocked my mind to Channel 9 with that. Olivia launched those 1,000 ships.
Yep.
This is once again, LBJ, the beauty of the writing on this show. I mean, the scripting, it is just amazing. They do such an amazing job.
Yeah, they do. They do an amazing job with that. And I think that it was a great setup because we're soon, folks, let's remember we're getting to the winter finale of Scandal, which is in like 2 weeks or something. So it's about to be a shocker. It's about to be a clincher. It's about to be one of those like, don't look down to tweet or take notes or anything. Keep your eyes peeled and recap and debrief yourself on the commercial break and get your life together.
Yes!
It's about to be ridiculous on the roller coaster in Shondaland.
And LBJ, on the topic of getting your life together, do you have any takeaways for tonight, LBJ?
Oh gosh, you know all about network building and people having people in your circle, good people in your circle. If you need a goon in your circle, no, let me stop. Anyway, but my takeaway is directly connected to Olivia and not Mellie, Olivia and Gabby Abby Red tonight. I really appreciated the fact that they are atoning their relationship. And I love the fact that, you know, as they're working through this, they are still keeping it 100 with each other. They are still concerned and they are still focused on the genuine the common denominator in their relationship. And when it all boils down to it, it's love. There is a love and compassion that they have for each other. But in our friendships and our relationships, we also have to realize that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for something. And so that's my takeaway. You have not because you ask not.
Oh,
Olivia, you felt it? You felt that?
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Lift up your hands. You'll feel the so, I think that it was very precious to see Olivia offer not just that olive branch to her, but really offer that security blanket to Gabby Abby Red as she was going through her moment. I mean, this woman has been through it all, so she knew that, you know, part of her was a little shamed, a part of her was a little scared, and a part of her may have been a little prideful to ask for help in this situation. Because, I mean, if you think about it, she's a survivor of domestic abuse. Like, if we want to put up like the helpline, the hurt line and everything, you all know what it is. You can help your friends out. You know that whole drill. But I think that there's something to be said about Gabby Abby Red's resilience and how she survived the abuse. And what I love the fact is that she owned it. She owned it.
Yes.
She owned what happened by saying like directly to him, like, you did this to me. Like, I now know because of you, I have this pain every time it rains. I still have to talk to the woman, the TSA woman, when I go through the security line because I have a screw that's holding my jaw together and I have two fake teeth in my mouth. So hats off to you, Gabby Abby Red, for standing in your truth and releasing that pain from yourself by speaking to your abuser and also relinquishing the reservations that you had with your friend Olivia for her to help you. You have not because you ask not, folks. Open up your mouth and ask for something. That's my takeaway. What's yours?
So good, LBJ. You know, my takeaway was actually inspired by the experience. Us watching Mellie go out there and just be really uninformed under the advice of Liz. And it was just, for me, one of those moments where it's just a reminder that you have to be really careful about who you take counsel from. You know, Mellie tonight was inspired by at least 3 people. One was Chicken Fried Mellie. The second was Bitsy. And the third was Liz. And, you know, her counsel, the information she received from Bitsy, the guidance she got from Bitsy, absolutely was well placed in terms of spirit and energy, and absolutely is something that could propel her forward. And the advice that she got from Liz obviously was not the right thing. And so I just think it's something for us all to think about. You know, who's whispering in your ear? Who are you taking counsel from? You need to really, really be careful because not everyone has your best interest at heart. And I think this was poor judgment on Mellie's part. What has Liz ever done to show herself to be a friend to Mellie, or to Fitz, or to their presidency in general? She just pops up out the shadows now and wants to come sit down with you at the dinner table. No, Mellie, you need to be really careful about who you take advice from. So I feel like it's a takeaway for all of us. Who's whispering in your ear, and do you need to listen? Something to think about.
That's good. That's good tonight. That's wonderful. And I think this whisper comment will be a great segue into our round robin for tonight because we are running out of time. We are running out of time. I hear the timer. We're running out. And we got to get going. And I think you could pick up the round robin
Yeah.
right there with that whisper
Yes.
comment.
Yes, and you know what? Rena75 said Olivia is the white man whisperer. She even had Tom mesmerized. You know, is she the whisperer or she is the nectar pourer? Because I feel like it's
Right.
just spewing from every orifice. I mean,
It's everywhere.
she
It's
gets it
leaking.
all. Yeah, it's leaking, LBJ. It's getting
It's
into the
leaking.
water.
All of our TV screens are still dripping from the
Yes,
Nectar Factor and Scandal tonight. It was
yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Our friend Dan Blakemore says presidential divorce, perhaps while Mellie was still chicken fried and downtrodden. Not with Bitsy in her ear. She ain't gonna let. She ain't gonna let. She ain't gonna. She ain't
She
going.
ain't going. She ain't going.
Being like, I'm not going. No. Like she's not going at all.
She ain't going. Oh, Dan, it's so great to see you back in the chat. And I think a few people in the chat were welcoming you back
They
tonight.
were, yes.
Dr. Hill 2014 said, welcome back, Dan B. You know, Dan also said, Tom, hashtag talk about it, hashtag tell the truth and shame the devil, hashtag where are my smelling salts?
Somebody help Dan pick him up off the floor. Pick him up off the floor because he is going through tonight.
Yes, Tom knocked us out.
Yes, Dan also said in his defense, though, Cyrus did hire Charlie to kill James, but he decided to keep him alive in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag love DC style. That's true. He did. But we also know that Cyrus had someone else killed in season one, Dan. Let's not forget that he had someone killed in season one of the show.
Yes, yes, and everybody else was had. You know, several people were having problems getting into the into the Q&A tonight. And Coffee Light and Sweet, when she got in, she said, "Yay! I finally made it to the Q&A at the end of the podcast." She said, "Hey y'all," waving happily.
Hey, Coffee Light and Sweet.
It's
Thank you
so
so
good to
much for
see you,
watching. Yes.
even for 5 minutes. It's so good to
Right,
see you.
exactly. We're about to go, but thanks so much for joining us. Kathy Grantham is still screaming at Rena75's comment until she shanked his behind. She is her father's daughter. Everyone is still saying that. Ebony Johnson Cooper is on the event page saying that. I think Jackie said that as well. That Liv is her father's daughter. She's not playing
Yes,
games.
she is. And Rena75 has a comment about Daddy Pope. She said, Daddy Pope said he cleared the way for Olivia, moved away all the obstacles for her. Makes me wonder if he's referring to setting Liv up with Cyrus, which led to her being on the campaign, which eventually led to her getting all that power in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. You are really raising some questions, Rena75. How long has Olivia just been a pawn in Eli Pope's game? Woo!
Yeah. Could
Mm-hmm.
it be that Olivia is nothing but the help for her daddy too, a la Maya
Yeah.
Pope?
Whoa.
It remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I share the sentiments with you. Yes, Tom finally has his own monologue. I was waiting for another good monologue from a breakout from another cast member we've not seen
Yes.
do a monologue this season. I loved the fact that Tom had a monologue. Hats off writing for that
Tom
monologue.
was so good, so good. And thank you so much, Jackie O 2006. You answered the question. Everybody, Tom's character is played by Brian Lesher. It's spelled Lettscher. Let's all find him immediately on Twitter and Facebook and become his best friend because I love him now. We all need to support his career because he's clearly about to get killed off on this show. We need to support him in his next adventure. Tom's character is played by Brian Letcher. Thank God for Google search. Thank you, Jackie 2006.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jackie. There's a new person who joined us in the Scandalous Scandal recap tonight by Player Ply Turner. Hi, I'm new. I love the Olivia and Tom moment. You're right. It was great. And thank you for joining us for the first time. We're so glad that you're here. Ply Turner, welcome, welcome, welcome.
And Ply, I think we've seen you before, maybe on the YouTube page.
Yes.
Let us know how to pronounce your name because we're not sure if it's Pla or Play. Let us know when you have a second. And Kimmy J had a comment in there that said, "You are beautiful, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Helen of Troy didn't have a father either." Whew! Oh my goodness. Once again, we're right now still in Tom's mesmerized moment. It seems to be just sticking with all of us.
You all are swooning over this Tom tonight. Tom is still my get down goon. in the face of adversity. I love the fact he spilled everything. I don't like the fact that he told it. He told everything the way that he told it. But Coffee Light and Sweet goes going back to Mellie. She says Mellie did the repeat move that she did in season 2 when she was pregnant and backed Fitz in a corner about invading Sudan. Remember that one? Yep, Mellie never learns. You're right, Mellie. She's messy, Mellie. Ultimately, she will all Mellie. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you're going to do and what you plan to do or be, you will always messy, Mellie.
It's true because once the chicken has been fried, can you unfry it? I would say no. Sorry, chicken fried Mellie.
And my fried chicken.
Yeah, smell gets in your clothes. It's too late. Zoe Mills says the scenes with Gabby, Abby, Red were very real. I'm glad that we are seeing that domestic violence can happen to anyone. It's so true. This show, there are so many pieces of it that are a public service announcement. Thank you for calling that out, Zoe.
Absolutely. It looks like Dan Blakemore went on a double roll here in the Q&A while he was watching. He said, I think, Janai, this is when we lost you for a moment when your Internet Explorer went down, and he says, that's a lot of hither and thither, Miss Wright, over there. You had a lot going on, Janai. Everybody was wondering where you were. But
Yeah.
he goes on to say, maybe Tom, maybe Brian can join the How to Get Away with Murder cast next season. Hashtag actors he respects.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And Dr. Hill 2014 said, Tom, Fitz, Jake, and even Rowan Pope are ride or die for Liv.
They are.
And they say in the case of Tom, it's more die than ride. Because once again, Tom, you're heading on home to glory soon. But we have enjoyed your stay.
Exactly. Shout out, stand by. Oh wait, I forgot to mention, Janaya. We did have a Scandal Jam session tonight.
That's right.
Was while we were preparing for the campaign for Miss Ross, and the Scandal Jam session was Shaka Khan's "On Everyone." Shaka Khan. That's who. That's Scandal Jam session.
Enough said. Shaka Khan. Yeah. Rena 75 raised a question. She said, is Cyrus going to think that Mellie sent Michael now that she leaked that info? Oh my gosh, will Cyrus suspect her? I didn't even think about that. Cyrus is absolutely going to think that Mellie is part of this, which he is unknowingly. Oh my goodness. Thank you for raising that, Rena 75.
Yes, thank you.
What will be the implications for Cyrus and Mellie's relationship?
Yeah. What will they be? You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, let's see. We've got our new friend is back. Our friend Pla Turner. Pla says it's Pla, like ha, but with the PL in front of the A. So
we got it right there.
Turner. We got it. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you.
And LBJ Kimmy J said, you don't have a dad, you were raised by command, you are a soldier. Oh my gosh, we thought she was a gladiator. Nope, you are a soldier. Oh my gosh, thank you so much once again. Tom told, she said Tom basically told Olivia, pick up your face.
Yes, exactly.
He basically did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay, wait, Zoe Mills says, Larry, and she said, Larry, and let's talk about that worker bee that is our girl, Quinn. Quinn again. Like, Quinn is remaining constant and steady, Zoe. I didn't even think we need to give her that much airtime tonight because we know who she is. We know that she's a boss. We know that she's doing it, and she did that, and she will do that. Thank you very much, Quinn. Whatever, Janai.
Let me tell you, LBJ, I planned 2 days ago for the next time somebody brought up Quinn. I was going to do that cricket noise. Oh, I really feel like I've just accomplished something. I want you to know that.
Oh, gosh, this is so
okay,
good.
Quinn did a good job, blah, 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 whatever.
I think this is a good one. Wait. I think this is a good one, though. So we've got two things I think we should end on. The first one is from Dr. Hill 2014. Dr. Hill 2014 says, Nectar will always be and live. I completely agree, Dr. Hill 2014. Nectar will always be and live. She gives away little boxes. She's got boxes and passes these boxes around. They're wrapped in bowls and all that stuff.
She has bottles. They sell at bodegas. It's everywhere. Yeah.
The nectar Olivia will never be canned. It will never, ever be canned. But here's a good one to end. Dr. Hill 2014 is back, and Dr. Hill 2014 says, Fitz has his own nectar. Olivia stand it. Oh
Oh! And you know what? That is the right note to end on, LBJ, because you cannot argue with that. That fits. That nectar was flowing two ways tonight, for
man.
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
It was so good. It was
Yeah.
so good. Thank you all so much for watching tonight's Scandalous Scandal recap. Go back and watch some of the other episodes for season 4 and recap and catch up. We will actually be preempted next week. We leave. My wife and I leave for our anniversary vacation next Thursday, so we'll be out of the country. I won't have access to ABC to watch Scandal. I'll be on Wi-Fi, so I'll try to refrain from watching you all's live tweets, and we will come back and pick up for the Scandal recap. Janiyah, in the meantime, Janiah's been tweeting everyone. So what you can do is go to Janiah's her page right now and follow her on Twitter at the Janiyah Wright and connect with her and start engaging with her via Twitter so you can help Janiyah no longer be a granny and get ready for our next Scandalous Scandal. Final thoughts, Janiyah?
LBJ, just thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. These chats are so much fun. It's just so great to recap the show with everybody.
Oh, it is so good. I totally appreciate you, Janiyah, for sharing this experience with me. We can do this. You are a jewel. You are a friend. You are always fun to work with.
Me too, LBJ.
Mush, 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 mush,
mush, mush, mush, mush.
All right, folks. It's Friday Eve. Have a wonderful night. Hey, do us a favor and retweet and share the YouTube link so that when the West Coast gets ready to watch Scandal, which I think they're actually watching it right now. They are. They're watching 3 minutes into the episode.
They are. Yeah.
With them so they can go back and watch the video and have a conversation with us, and we can all recap it all together as one big happy family, East Coast and West Coast. Until the next Scandal recap, we love you. And don't forget, we're going to come up with our How to Get Away with Murder recaps. Make sure you follow us on the Google Plus page. We're going to share the link there and send all of the gladiators the invite first to join us for How to Get Away with Murder. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.